Це оповідання, яке я зараз вам передам, то записують Леонідові Толстоєві. Leo Tolstoy is the one who is credited with the story I'm about to share. It's a story about a bishop who was visiting his outlying territories. And in order to visit all the territories, he had to travel by ship. And in those days, there were still sailing ships. And this bishop was in northern Russia. So he left Archangel, the city of Archangel, and he was traveling to a monastery. Forgot the name of the monastery. That's the one. And on the way, they were passing islands. And there were other passengers on board that ship. And at one point, one of the crew members was pointing out an island way in the distance to the other passengers. And the bishop became curious because that's his territory. He should know what's happening there and who was there. And as he approached the group, he heard the crewman explain that on the island, on the horizon, there lived 3 hermits. And the bishop was curious. He wanted to visit those hermits. Those hermits were his people. So he convinced the captain to divert the ship, to pull down the sails, and to set him off onto the island in a rowboat, while the ship waited at anchor. And as they came closer to the island, he saw 3 men, all old men, long beards, nothing but skin and bones, dressed in ragged clothes. One looked as if he had an old threadbare cassock on. One only had a loincloth. The other had ragtags. And when he approached, the 3 men came out to greet him with dance and joy and happiness. Welcome, welcome. And the bishop said, I am your bishop. I am the servant of God. I heard you were here, and I wanted to visit with you, to pray with you. And the 3 hermits started to rejoice. The bishop will pray with us. And the bishop asked the 3 to start their prayers. And the one who was dressed in, looked like a cassock, could have been a cassock, wasn't sure whether it was a patriarchnik. He started. 3 are ye, 3 are we, have mercy on us. Wyjetre, mejetre, pomiluj nas.
Troje was, troje nas, pomyluj nas. Troje was,
Troje nas, pomiluj nas. Дякую за поправку. Ви знаєте ту історію?
Exist film, short film. Russia exists short film for 10 minutes.
Окей, ви бачили всі?
Ні.
Oh, okay, so I'll have corrections here as we come up. And the bishop thought a strange beginning for prayer. It's not начало вечне, it's not the normal prayer, but the old man started. The second time, another one joined him. 3 are thee, 3 are we, have mercy on us. And the third time, the third man joined, and all 3. 3 are we, 3 are thee, 3 are we, have mercy on us. And the bishop said, no, 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 you're praying all wrong. I will teach you how to pray properly. And the 3 men got excited. The bishop will teach them how to pray properly. And he taught them the Lord's Prayer, line after line. Our Father, they repeated. Who art in heaven, who art in heaven. Hallowed be thy, what was the first line, Bishop? Our Father. Oh, okay. Our Father. Repeat after me. Our Father, who art in heaven, who art in heaven. Hallowed be thy name, hallowed be thy name. Our who? Our Father. Oh, yes. And they kept going back and forth, and finally, they've memorized the prayer. They've memorized the prayer, and they were so happy that now they're praying properly. And the bishop was so proud because he taught them, the bishop, taught them how to pray. Evangelization. Servant of God, teaching the children. It was getting dark, so the bishop returned to the ship, and the ship pulled up anchor, and he could see the 3 men still. He could hear them. Our Father who art in heaven, continuing the prayer. And the ship left into the darkness. A couple of hours into the trip, the bishop is sitting at the stern of the ship, and he sees this light on the horizon. And it's getting brighter and bigger and brighter and bigger. And he asked the helmsman, the one steering the ship, what is that light back behind us? And the helmsman got scared. Could be ghosts. I don't know. And it got bigger and brighter, and they got closer, and the bishop saw the 3 men that he left on the island running over the water, saying, Bishop! Bishop! Servant of God! Wait! And so the ship pulled over again, stopped its progress, and they caught up, and they go, Bishop! We forgot the words to the prayer you taught us! And the bishop looked at the 3 men walking on water, and he recognized that they were much more holier than he would ever be. And my addition to the story is, he started to pray. You are 3. I'm 1. Have mercy on me. Do not be afraid as the one who evangelizes the evangelizer, to recognize that there are times that in your ministry you will become the evangelizee. No matter what title you have, no matter how many years of university or years of practice, understand, accept, and embrace the opportunity to become the one who is evangelized by others. No matter who they are, where they've come from. I was evangelized by hobos. I was evangelized by people sitting in the gutter on Skid Row. We can always learn from others. and enter into a deeper relationship with God through them. That's story number one. The second one, also along the same line. They say they're related. If I say Ihumen Makarios, does it ring a bell for those that heard the story about the three hermits? Nicho? No recognition?
You just started.
I'll start the story. And then I can sit down and someone can finish. I'd love that. Bishop Makarios, an abbot of a monastery, Ihumen Makarios, an abbot of the monastery, was a holy man. He was regarded by his fellow monks as one truly in touch with God. Prayed, did his meditations. Very simple person, a very holy person. One day, in his meditations, God appeared to him. And he said, Makarios, do not fear. One day, you will be sitting beside me in the eternal banquet. Makarios goes, wow. Me, Lord? He goes, yes. You will be sitting beside me at the eternal banquet. And the apparition went away. But Abbot Makarios started to think, if I'm on one side of the Lord, who's on the other? And he started in his prayers to treat it. Oh, okay. Because you're smiling and I go, oh, another one's down the drain. He started to wonder, and in his prayers going, Lord, please let me know who will be on your other side. And the Lord was silent. And he kept pestering the Lord in prayer. God, please tell me the name of the person on the other side of you. And finally, God answered. And he gave him a name of a man. He told the disciples the name and asked them to find the man out. Where is the man living? He wants to meet him on earth before they meet at the eternal banquet table. And so the disciples went out and they located a man living in a far village, all by himself at the outskirts of the village. And they came and they informed their abbot. And it was the Strasny Tishtin coming up, Holy Thursday, Good Friday, Holy Saturday, Easter, Resurrection Sunday. And he thought, what a beautiful opportunity to celebrate the most important feast of the year with the person who will be sitting on the other side of the Lord. And so the monks and the abbot got together and they went to meet this man. They came up to the house and there was a shack in the woods. And they knocked on the door and no one answered. They knocked louder and they heard grumbling on the other side. But still no one opened the door. And then finally the abbot goes, this is Abbot Makarios with his disciples. I want to celebrate Resurrection Sunday with you. And he heard, "Go away!" But he persevered. "Please, please, I have good news for you." And finally the door opened, and inside that shack was a humongous man. Just in all dimensions, all directions, just the largest, biggest man he ever saw. And the man just opened the door, turned around, went back to his table, and started eating. The abbot Macarius was shocked at such disrespect for the holy orders. And he came in, and he goes, "You're not asking us to eat? To table?" And the man goes, "Do what you want. I'm busy." His shack was just a bed, a table, no kneeler, no crosses, no icons, nothing. Just food everywhere. And the man was eating. Well, the abbot goes, "Let's celebrate Holy Thursday services." And the man goes, "Do what you want." And he's still eating. And the abbot thinks, could this be a mistake? Did I mishear what God told me? Or maybe there are two of them and I got the wrong one? This man is a clod. This man is ignorant. This man is, I don't know what other words to use that I can use publicly.
Humongous.
That too. And so they had the Thursday service. The man didn't pay attention. Good Friday came. Postny Dane, time to fast. And they're all fasting, and the man is at the table eating everything he can. Holy Saturday came, Sunday came. The man took no part in no prayers. They thought maybe initially, Abbot Macarius thought, maybe this man is truly holy and he's hiding his holiness from us. So probably when we're asleep, he's going to be praying all night. So the abbot pretended he was asleep, thinking he was waiting for the host to get up and pray, and all he could hear was snoring. No prayers. Even on Easter, the man did not pray, did not sing Christos Voskres, did absolutely nothing. Finally, the abbot and his monks were leaving to return, shaking their heads, going, "This can't possibly be true." Before they left, though, the abbot turned to the man and goes, "I have to know. God told me that I will be sitting on one side of him, next to him, at the eternal banquet. And he told me that you would be on the other side, beside the Lord, sitting at the eternal banquet. But all I see you do is stuff yourself and eat. I don't understand why he would want you there." And the man said, "I'll tell you my story. I was a young boy, and the infidels, the marauders, came to my village, and they slaughtered all the Christians in the village. The only ones who escaped were my grandfather and myself. I saw the marauders, the infidels, slaughter my whole family. My father, my mother, my sister, my brother, my grandparents, all perished. After they left, my grandfather and I started to slowly rebuild our lives. We cleared a little bit of land. We started to farm. I was already older. I was a young man. My grandfather was feeble, thin as a stick, nothing but skin and bones. And my grandfather sent me out to the river to get some water. And as I was fetching the water, the marauders came back. The infidels came back. And they caught my grandfather. I was hiding when they set him on fire. He was so thin, he went up and the fire was over. I know that the marauders will be back. I know that the infidels will come through again and they will catch me. I know that they will set me on fire. And when they do, I want to burn so bright and so long that the neighborhoods, the villages and the neighborhoods will see the flame and know that Christ is still witnessed, that the love of God still exists. I want to burn for a long time. And the abbot walked away, thinking, wondering if he, the abbot, was truly worthy to sit at the same table. Christ comes to us in many forms, in many images. It's up to us, through our own spiritual exercises, through our own discernment, to recognize. Again, a holy man, an abbot, normally considered worthy of salvation, encounters a nobody. And yet that nobody shows to be more noble, more dedicated, more faithful, more determined than anybody in the monastery. The evangelizer became the evangelizee. And just a third short story. I don't want to keep talking I thought I'd give you your money's worth, talk for the full hour, but I'm not going to do that. When I was getting ready for ordination to the diaconate, I had doubts enter me. One, will I be able to not survive? Will I be able to flourish in the life of a celibate. What you don't know about me is at one point in my life, remember the girl I said at the prayers, Otche nasz, Olja w cerkwi? Well, that Olja and I went out for 8 years. That Olja and I were engaged to be married. We weren't, so that just want to make that clear. But, so I'm uncertain whether I was up to the life of celibacy. But what scared me the most was, you know the story about the road to Emmaus, where the two men are walking and Jesus joins them, and they didn't recognize him. That possibility, for some reason, terrified me, that I would be on the road to Emmaus, Christ would be beside me, and I wouldn't recognize him. And how can I teach others? How can I preach to others if I myself may not recognize my Savior? This is the last of the stories. It's a short story. You probably heard it. It's not that uncommon. It's about a cobbler, a shoemaker, a shvech. And again, a holy man, one who enjoyed prayer. He was a widower, didn't have any family, his wife passed away, didn't have any children, dedicated to his work, making and fixing shoes and boots, and also praying, going to church, helping out. And again, in a dream or in a vision, Jesus appeared to him. And he said, Ivane, before the day is done, I will visit you. And Ivan got excited. Christ will visit him. He will see Christ. And he went to work faithfully. Nothing changed. On his way to work, he stopped at the church, said his prayers, went, and his workshop was in the basement of a building with an outside staircase. So as he sat at his workshop, he could look at the window and see people's feet walk by. And he liked that, because he had an opportunity to see a lot of shoes. And that was his thing. But this day he came to work, and he started to make the shoes and fix the shoes. And after a short while, a little snotty kid comes running down the stairs, and he goes, starts making all sorts of noise and hassles, and the shoemaker goes, no, go, I'm expecting a special visitor. Come, I don't have time for you today. Go. And then his neighbor comes down. He slowly recognized her shoes, and she came complaining about what's happening in the neighborhood. And he goes, ma'am, not today. No, I have no time for you today. I'm expecting a special visitor. Go, come back tomorrow. And a beggar comes down looking for some scrap, for some help. And again, the cobbler is impatient, and he shoos him away. Well, the end of the day came by, and the cobbler felt let down. Jesus said he was going to show up. Jesus said he would visit him. Did Jesus lie? That evening, in his sleep, he envisions Jesus, and they have this talk. And he goes, Jesus, where were you? You said you're going to come before the day is over. You said you would come and visit me. The day is done and you weren't there. And Jesus said, I came to you as a little child and you shooed me away. I came to you as your neighbor. You didn't have time for me. You said tomorrow. I came to you as a beggar, a person in need, and you didn't recognize me. If we are looking for Christ, we have to find him in the people in our lives. If you do not see Christ in the person sitting beside you, or the person in your parish, you will not see Christ in the icon. You will not encounter Christ on the cross. We encounter God through his creation, and it's up to us to recognize him. Evangelizers, prepare to be evangelized. And look for Christ in whoever and wherever you meet. C'est ça, c'est tout. Au revoir, à la prochaine fois. I apologize for having all English. Czy wy zrozumieli? Dostojno je Boisynu, Tebe Borodyscu, Chrystocze Tebe porodzu, i Maty Boha naszego, Chrzestniczu Witkeru wymił, i nezmienno Słowiszu i Serafymił, що безодіння Бога Слово породила, сущу Богородицю, Тебе величаємо. Пресвята Богородице, владико, просимо благословення для всіх на закінчення.